David, it's a lovely sunny day in Essex. We're down here at Nuclear Races. We've just had the first UK championship, OCR A championship.
Yeah.
You haven't been racing, but you've been watching.
Yeah, the team's been out, so I'm setting up for the marathon just to have a bit of a dodgy ankle, so I thought I wouldn't risk it, but it's been incredible actually, the level of people here. And I think when people think about obstacle course races, they think it's the type of event that a runner can do and just turn up and do well, and that it's all just fun and games, and then you come here and you see the athleticism out there. It's impressive.
And you're happy with the team's performance today?
Team did well, yeah. James came seconds, so I know he was keen for first, but Connor is on fire at the moment, fourth in the Worlds. Ross coming back from injury, we're not sure where he came. We're potentially fourth to fifth, and then Freya absolutely smashed it, won by a country mile, struggled with the rings for a long time, and real nervous moment where if you don't finish an obstacle, that's it, you can't win, and I wasn't sure she'd make it, but on about the 9th or 10th attempt, having screamed in front of her parents, she got it and got through.
It seems a strange location to have this conversation, but one of the things you've done a lot this year, but one of the things you did do was the Afghanistan Marathon, which we found fascinating. I know you could just tell us a little bit about the race.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first year they've ever done it, and it's... Actually, a friend at a wedding just told me about it and I was fascinated by the idea myself. They try to keep it low key. There's only about 5 or 6 international runners, and it was really a marathon where the point of it was to try and have it for Afghans, but also to really help try and build the spirit of the country, to have some positive news, and to get women running as well. The race was incredible. When we turned up, there were quite a few locals who they looked as if they were going to go to the market, how they were dressed. I've never been in a race with such a fast start. I don't think they've raced themselves before, and I don't think they truly understood just how far a marathon is, because after 800, I mean, when it set off, people were sprinting flat out, and by 800 metres there was a guy on the side of the road almost being sick, and I was struggling not to laugh because I just thought it's so rude to laugh. It's so funny how ruined this guy is, and he's not even a kilometre in. But then they had a whole wave of women running who had to wear full shawls and completely covered, but incredible that in a place that is so conservative that there's this huge group of school children were running this, the 10K for them. The race itself was, I mean, I'd been on the toilet for 36 hours previously. I hadn't eaten at all, couldn't eat in the race, so I had a bit of a shocker. But you started off with the head of the military, head of the police was there, the head of the military was there, the governor was there of the region, guns everywhere, and then pit stop after about 3-4 miles behind a rock, completely on display, and suddenly see the local head of police laughing hard at me. Wasn't really sure how to respond. The races themselves, I think a lot of the locals just really struggle with the distance and managed to jump on the back of motorbikes quite often. So
that's quite unusual. I don't see that at too many races.
Yeah, I mean it's a clever tactic if you can get away with it. One of the guys overcooked it a bit. He came through about 14k in world record pace, which
pretty good going.
It's pretty good going, yeah. And I mean, thankfully, the spirit of it was the guy who won it, Keith, was a fantastic runner, just cruised it, and everyone after that, I don't think anyone really was there to set PBs, to look at their finishing positioning. So everyone just found it amusing. Well, not everyone. I think some of the Afghanis who've been cheated out of their positions weren't too pleased, but just this amazing event, running through beautiful scenery, the villages where they're all coming out, and not as much cheering as just gawking at these strange white men, and yeah, and finishing, seeing the very first female Afghani finish of a marathon. It's fantastic, so I'd recommend it for anyone to do, even if you don't like running. Just the experience itself is so different to anything I've done. And I think for someone like Afghanistan to have some good news about it and to have a focal point for the local town to really concentrate on something that they can really build, can take ownership of, just amazing.
It sounds like pretty spectacular, and very different from today though, that's certainly.
Yeah, it was warm, it was lovely, and I even got a bit of a tan, so to then come back to Essex and bloody England, eh?
And I'll just finish off with giving your podcast a plug. I mean, it seems to be going well.
Yeah, we started Bad Boy Running about 2 months ago. The idea is JD Rainsford, he's an ultra marathon runner, and myself. It's the conversations you'd have down a pub. So some episodes we don't really talk about running that much, we get a bit sidetracked, but it seems to have taken off. I don't really know that much about podcasts, but we've got a lot of viewers, listeners coming in. Give it a try. If you're easily offended, maybe not for you. And if you're just wanting to listen to learn lots and lots of running tips, it's going to take you a while to get there. But we're just enjoying it more than anything else. Give it a listen if you've got any ideas of people you want us to bring on or things you want us to discuss. We're making it up as we go, so we'd love to hear back from you.
Well, we'll let you get out of the rain, and good to catch up with you.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot.
All the best.